Hey folks, and welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to take a look at vlog number 8 by The Warning, which was a vlog about their appearance at the Hell and Heaven Festival on May 4, 2018. This was a metal festival that they did, not realizing it was a metal festival until they were there, and so they had put together a plan just in case the audience started throwing things at them for how to evacuate the stage quickly, and luckily they didn't need that plan. Things went great that day, and they talk a little bit about that experience here. So this is 6 minutes long, so it won't take very long, but I thought it would just be nice to take a look at it. A lot of people have mentioned it since we featured one of the songs on the Glenn and Adrian channel earlier this week. That was Dull Knives Cut Better, and we're planning to look at more from that show. And by the way, we first heard about this festival through their interview at Chihuahua, which was a little later the same year, and so probably a little bit after this vlog was done. This first went up on Patreon, so I'm not sure exactly when it dropped, but it made its way onto the regular internet in October of that year, so several months later. So looking forward to checking this out and hearing what they had to say about their experience. The one that had them pretty nervous apparently at first, but which turned out just fine. So with that, why don't we take a look at this? If you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, please consider it. I do lots of warning content on this channel, occasionally other bands as well. Let's go ahead and check this out.
Hey guys!
Hey! Okay, so we're gonna do a little recap of our weekend at Hell and Heaven Fest.
Awesome. So we arrived there Thursday night, and well, the next day we got prepared to go and play. We were pretty excited, pretty nervous, and
Yes, excited and nervous, especially because of the weather. Like,
oh yeah,
we thought it was gonna rain.
It was gonna rain, but the weather was amazing. Honestly, it was like perfect. So we made it to the venue, and we were setting things up, and then the first band started.
Dun dun dun! Heavy metal band all
It
the
was
way.
Like death metal, right? So we were like, we are not gonna fit in here. And okay, so the first one wasn't even like,
It was.
we thought it was really heavy, and then the second band started playing, and it was like even heavier. Woo!
We were the third band.
Yeah, we were the third band to play
in the main stages.
So we were pretty nervous that the people that were like the audience was not going to like us because we were not a heavy metal band, and it was a metal festival. And I was just afraid they were going to start booing and throwing stuff or something.
Yeah.
And
Tomatoes. And when our turn came, there were, an hour before when we were watching the first and the second band, there weren't many people there. I mean, it was really early, and the festival was just getting started. So we really thought that we weren't gonna be playing for a lot of people.
a large crowd.
But okay, then showtime came, and there were a lot more people. But by the time, like half of the show, there were like so many people, we couldn't believe it.
It was like as far as you could see, there were still people. We were like, whoa.
Yes.
I don't know if it's our biggest crowd, but it's definitely the biggest crowd that we've actually like seen. So it was pretty exciting.
Yes.
And honestly, I had a lot of fun.
Yeah,
It was
and it was really satisfying to know that they reacted well too.
Yeah, because we were pretty
I
scared
was-
they were not going
I
to.
was
But
so happy when everyone started to clap.
yeah, it was. And
So, okay, I'm assuming that when she said that it was the biggest crowd that they had ever been able to actually see, that they're talking about arenas or stadiums where it's nighttime and you can't really see that well. There's a lot of people out there, but you can't see them. And this was the middle of the day, so no problem. Just in case anybody had any questions about that.
We had it all the way to the back.
yeah, it was. We had a couple of technical difficulties. My laptop fell on top of my leg on
Dull Knives?
Dull Knives, yeah. And I was like, oh my god, don't fall. And then my dad, I didn't notice until my dad just came like rushing in, and he was trying to like fix it without altering our metronome because.
Okay, I see. All right. I understand that now because that's the one we looked at. We didn't notice a problem. So that's how professional they are. But that's really interesting.
laptop. But apart from that, I just broke one drumstick this time. So
Yeah, you just threw it to the back.
yeah, I just threw it to the back, so nobody noticed.
Yeah.
But you had the bass thing.
Yeah, so in Survive, the last song, in like the last like 20 seconds,
I
or
think
like,
so.
like the outro,
Yeah.
suddenly like I trip over a cable and like the bass just like goes out like
Disappeared.
No more
and
sound.
It was like really loud, so it was like,
You could notice.
Yeah.
and so like I didn't know like where like what it was. I was trying to figure it out like while I like kind of kept playing, or I don't know. And then like I checked my connection, and it wasn't unplugged, and I was like, what do I do? And then Danny came, like she she was like, what
Danny
are you
to the
doing? Why
rescue.
like why are you not doing
Yeah,
anything?
I just remember like
And-
rushing to the other side of the stage and checking for the cable. Like, okay, nothing happened. What can I do? And then just like, yep.
And so then after like we at that point like I was just like clapping and everything because I couldn't play.
I didn't have you in my in-ears. I just suddenly noticed you were like
clapping,
clapping.
and
I was like,
jumping because
why
like, I
is she
What's
not
going on?
playing? But I think you handled that pretty well.
Yeah, and actually we found out. Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, like here, we came back home and then we thought about it and we're like, we know what it is. So like, how can I explain this? Like I have my pedal board and in English, how can I say it?
Yeah, well, the pedal board goes to a direct box, and the
then
direct box goes to the
amp.
console and to the
and
amp.
to the amp.
Oh, so the
and
thing
so
was connected
yeah,
to
when
the-
to the I don't know if it was to
Oh.
the console or to the
No, to the amp.
to the amp. And
Understand.
so it just like I just
think so.
unplugged it.
I don't know which one of them.
Yeah, well, I tripped.
But either way,
Yeah, I tripped on the cable.
something
and
got disconnected, and that was a
unplugged.
problem.
But we
And-
didn't figure it out until we got here because since it's a festival and the next band
It was just like,
already
run, get out.
Yeah,
if
yeah.
If we were like the middle of the song, we would have fixed it, but it was like the last
It was
20
just the
seconds.
last-
But
so-
thankfully, it didn't happen like at the middle,
In the middle
of the
of
show.
the show.
Right,
Yeah,
yeah.
everything went well, even that. And everything was perfect. Literally, after we stopped playing,
We'll just stop for a second so I can explain in case people are confused about that. But there are many cables leading from the guitar to the front of house speakers or the amp behind her. She'll take it, it'll come from the guitar into her pedal board. All right. She happens to have a pedal board. And then there's a cable between each of the boxes. And then there's a cable at the end of the pedal board that goes to a direct box. That's basically a box that you use to plug into that will automatically send you to the front of the house speakers, to the monitors, to the amp behind you. That's the one that got disconnected. So they had a little trouble figuring out what the problem was because the one going from her guitar was fine, it sounds like. So that's what happened, in case you were curious.
just a while after, it started raining.
really
God.
bad.
But
really bad.
I'm not saying
Hail
like
and everything. Like
it was like a heavy downpour. It was
Storm.
extremely.
really. We're lucky to have no rain on our
We were
set.
lucky, yeah. Exactly.
Wow, okay.
Yes.
And after that, we did a couple of interviews. Well, a couple is not. It was a lot of interviews. And after that, we just relaxed, went back to the hotel, slept. The next day, we flew back here,
Yes.
and
It's such a shame though because we wanted to see the rest of the
rest of the
shows
show.
of the
Because of
festival,
the rain.
but the rain was impossible and
Oh.
It was really bad. It was
so really like
Wow.
impossible.
really bad.
I'm really impressed because a lot of people stay there and
No,
I'm
no,
like,
no,
wow.
Most of the people stay
extreme
there.
quantity of people stay
know,
there.
yes.
So, but I think it was a very cool experience. I would love to play again in Mexico City because,
It's
I mean, the audience was really good, and if we could have that experience again, that would be awesome. And well, I think that's it.
Boom. Happy Sunday, guys.
Yep.
See
Ciao.
Okay, so maybe what happened, I wonder, was that their very first gig in Mexico City? Nope, they had one. That's right, they opened for Def Leppard on October 3rd, 2017. So they had played in Mexico City previously. That may be the only one. Let me go back to 2016. Oh, okay. Well, they did Sabadazo, the TV show, in Mexico City in January of 2016. That doesn't really count. So it wasn't necessarily their very first time, but it was certainly one of their very first times being in Mexico City, which I'm sure was a milestone for them, and particularly that festival. So I don't know that they've ever played it again. That's my understanding, that they haven't. But if you know something I don't, please let me know below, having to do with other times in the future. Anyway, that was really cool. I know it was kind of short, but many people referenced this vlog and said you should really take a look at it, and I'm glad I did. So that was really cool. Thanks so much to those of you that pointed that out to me. I'm glad to have seen it. And so if you were at Hell and Heaven, let me know about that experience. And really, if you saw them at all during this time, let me know, because it's just always interesting to hear people's experiences. If you have other suggestions for material, whether it's interviews, behind the scenes, or vlogs like this one, let me know in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this video, please give it a like. And if you enjoyed the presentation, please subscribe. All right, thanks so much for joining me on this. I'll catch you on the next one. All right, take care, folks.